This DVD covers both the Cabela's 12-inch and 15-inch commercial vacuum sealers. Congratulations on your purchase of the Cabela's vacuum sealer. Today, vacuum packaging is helping millions of households across the country to keep foods fresher longer. The Cabela's vacuum sealer is designed to let you control the vacuuming and sealing process to more efficiently remove air, seal and keep food fresh up to 10 times longer than conventional storage methods. Whether it's game, meats, waterfowl, cheese, fruits, vegetables, or breads, the Cabela's vacuum sealer is a cost-effective way to store and enjoy a wide variety of foods. In order to help you learn how to operate the vacuum sealer correctly and how to properly prepare foods for sealing, there are 4 steps that we will be reviewing in this video. First, becoming familiar with the sealer and its features. Second, preparing the vacuum bags and evaluating the contents for correctly setting the sealing mode. Third, selecting the proper vacuum pressure setting and learning how to operate the unit. And fourth, helpful hints and troubleshooting. We'll also talk about vacuum canister accessories and some helpful storage and maintenance tips. So let's get started with getting to know the vacuum sealer features. But first, it's important that you read and fully understand the operating instructions. You'll find a handy, quick reference guide located in the sealer package that you can place on a wall or nearby your work area. You may want to take a moment now to read the operating instructions, then come back to this video at this point and continue. Unlike other home-style conventional sealers, your Cabela's vacuum sealer is made with durable stainless steel and is powered by a commercial-grade double-piston vacuum pump that delivers the highest vacuum pressure on the market today. Now, let's take a look at the 3 main sections of the vacuum sealer. First, on the back, you'll find the electrical cord storage area, the on-off switch, and the fuse. Plug in the unit and turn it on. Second is the top panel, where you'll find the bag roll storage compartment, a built-in bag cutter, the control panel, and the sealing area. On the commercial unit, there's also a storage compartment on the side for a vacuum canister hose attachment. Third is the bag sealing compartment. Since we'll be covering bag sealing and the control panel modes a little bit later, let's take a look now inside the sealing compartment. Be sure to remove the foam storage blocks and read the quick reference guide inside the bag storage lid. The sealing area features an upper and lower gasket, a straight rubber strip to help hold bags in place, and dual sealing strips which are covered by Teflon tape. Do not remove the Teflon tape. The gaskets and rubber strip are removable for cleaning and storage, which helps to extend their use. There's also a gasket replacement kit available from Cabela's. Now, let's look at the most important feature, the control panel. It lets you control the vacuum and seal process functions depending on the type of food you want to seal. The vacuum and seal button is used to start the automatic vacuuming and sealing process. It is also used to cancel sealing at any time while the unit is operating. Should you want the option of selectively adding more vacuum pressure to remove more air, you can simply use the pulse vacuum button and then use the manual seal button to finish the process. The manual seal is also used to seal one end of the bag when using a bag roll. The LED light indicator will monitor the entire vacuum process, starting with 1 light when the lid is securely locked down, to all 6 lights showing that vacuuming is complete, then back to 1 light indicating that the lid may now be opened. Just to the left of the vacuum and seal control buttons are 2 vacuum pressure control buttons, normal and gentle. For most sealing, the normal vacuum pressure button is used, especially for meats, poultry, cheeses, vegetables, and other non-crushable foods, even hard objects like jewelry. The gentle button is used occasionally when less vacuum pressure is needed to preserve crushable items like breads, crackers, cereals, or soft fruits. The unit will always default to the normal mode. Next to the vacuum pressure controls, you'll see the vacuum bag sealing mode. The single seal dry setting applies 8 seconds of heat to seal dry food items like cheese, beans, or jerky. The single seal moist setting increases the sealing heat to 10 seconds for items with light moisture like beef, venison, or chicken. The double seal extended setting adds 14 seconds of extra heat and is best used when foods have a little more moisture like juicy steaks or fish. If you have a Cabela's commercial grade sealer, you will see another control button for vacuuming canisters and marinating foods using separately purchased canisters. We'll cover this a little later in the video, but now we're going to vacuum seal several different types of foods to show you the proper steps for selecting the bags, setting the controls, and creating a perfect seal. When it's time to select the right bag for vacuum sealing, you can choose to either use a bag roll or pre-cut mesh bags that are made specifically for a traditional vacuum sealing machine. Do not use bags that are made for chamber-style commercial sealers, since they will not work. Whether you're using a bag roll or pre-cut, it's important to make sure you're using vacuum sealer bags that have a ribbed mesh design that will allow the vacuum pumps to remove the air. Since your Cabela's vacuum sealer already includes a vacuum bag roll, we'll start our bag preparation by pulling the bag out to the size that will fit the food that we want to seal. Then we'll just slide the built-in cutter across. Next, we'll place one end of the bag across the front end of the oval foam gasket in the sealing chamber and firmly push down the handle until it locks the lid into place. The first progress light will turn on to let you know that the lid is locked down correctly. Now press the manual seal button. Do not open the lid until the progress light bar resets to the first light and the vacuum seal light stops flashing blue. Your bag is now ready for contents, and the next important step, which is evaluating the contents in order to determine the correct vacuum level and sealing settings. Since vacuum sealing is a process that's designed to remove as much air as possible from the bag, keep in mind that all foods contain various amounts of air as part of their makeup. Meats, fowl, and fish also contain different levels of moisture, so you need to adjust the sealer settings to match your food item. One critical point that you must remember is that there should not be any water or liquid of any kind in the bag, because the vacuum pump will pull the liquid towards the heating elements and will prevent the bag from sealing. Be sure to remove all liquids and visible moisture from the bag surface with a paper towel before you seal it. For example, for this steak, I've made sure that the sealing area is clean and that I've left 2 inches or more of empty bag space between the steak and the unit. It's important to make sure that you're adding at least 2 inches or more above the food contents to allow room for fitting the bag flat across the foam gasket in the sealing chamber without wrinkles. You'll also want to press down and around the foods by hand to remove as much air as possible before closing the lid. Now I'll close the lid, lock it down securely, and select the moist setting for sealing and normal for vacuum pressure. Next, I'll set vacuum and seal, which will automatically vacuum and seal the bag. After the LED indicators revert back to the first light, I can remove the bag from the unit. Of course, there will be times when I'll have more than one piece of fish in a bag. You don't want to overload the bag, but you'll want to hand press out as much air as possible and leave enough bag space so that it lays flat across the sealing gasket. Push moist, then normal, then vacuum and seal. After the light cycle has returned to the first light, the seal is complete. Remove and check the bag. With meats like beef, venison, and chicken, it's best to pat dry them first with a paper towel before placing them in the bag. Of course, all meats and fowl have air pockets and are moist. Most of the time you will select moist, normal, and vacuum and seal. You also have the option of choosing the automatic vacuum and seal by using the pulse vacuum and manual seal instead to control the vacuum pressure and remove more air. The unit will always default back to dry and normal settings after using the manual controls. I know that some of my hunting buddies like to preserve their venison with Italian dressing. Of course, this type of coating is not particularly runny, but you can keep a coating like this dressing from being drawn into the sealing area by rolling up a paper towel and placing it across the inside of the bag. Use the extended and pulse setting. The paper towel will help to prevent the dressing from going into the vacuum sealing area. If you see any liquid moving towards the vacuum sealing area, press cancel immediately. Okay, let's say we want to seal something that's dry and crushable like these brownies. Then you would select dry, gentle, and then press pulse to monitor how much air we're removing to avoid crushing the brownies. Then press manual seal. Another point to remember is that you will get the best vacuuming results when your items are frozen. Then you can use the moist, normal, and vacuum and seal control settings. Now there's going to be occasions when you'll want to continually vacuum and seal a large quantity of foods. When you're sealing one item after the other, it's best to make up each bag as you go along. This allows time for the unit's heat seal to cool slightly between seals to prevent overheating. If the vacuum seal button flashes red, the unit will go into the cool down mode and you'll need to wait about 30 seconds with the lid up before you can begin sealing again. If you've purchased the Cabela's commercial grade vacuum sealer, you'll see that your unit features a canister hose attachment that is stored in the side compartment. You could take advantage of using the canister attachment with a variety of different vacuum food storage canisters that are available from Cabela's. These canisters are great for storing fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats, or preparing marinades for a very special dish. To use the vacuum canister attachment, insert one end of the hose into the air intake port on the unit and the other end into the center hole of the canister cover with the setting on the lid dialed to open. Check to make sure the vacuum setting is on normal and then press the canister button to start the vacuum process. The unit will stop automatically when the vacuum process is complete. Turn the center hole dial to seal, remove the hose, and your container is now ready for storage. If you're using a marinating container, press normal, then press marinate, and remove the hose after the cycle is complete. Now keep in mind that the marinating cycle will take up to 8 minutes, so be sure to keep an eye on the blue LED light indicators until the light returns back to 1. You can also use a marinating container to store softer foods like breads, cakes, or pastries by using the gentle button. Alright, now that we've covered the sealer's features and proper operating procedures, let's review some helpful hints to keep in mind for the best vacuuming performance. Do not overload the vacuum bag. Clean and straighten the open end of the bag and leave enough empty space at the end of the bag so that it lays flat in the vacuum chamber without creating wrinkles or ripples. Make sure you're using bags with ribbing that are designed specifically for vacuum sealing. Remove all the excess liquid from the food content by drying wet foods with paper towels. For soups or other liquid food types, it's best to freeze them first and place a rolled paper towel from end to end at the open end of the bag to prevent any melted liquid or moisture from entering the sealing chamber. Press all excess air out of the bag before placing the top in the vacuum chamber. Avoid leaving sharp-pointed bones, hard shells, or pasta exposed, since sharp points could penetrate the bag during the vacuum process. You can also cover sharp edges with a paper towel to eliminate the possibility of punctures. Make sure the oval sealing gaskets are dry and clean and firmly seated into the channels. Match the vacuum strength and the sealing settings to the type of food you are sealing. You will also find a quick reference card in the box that can help you select the appropriate settings. You can use your sealer for more than just long-term food storage. You can prepare pre-cooked, healthy individual portions or meals for serving later that week or that month, or for sealing non-food items such as clothing, photos, valuables, or collectibles. When storing your unit after use, always leave the cover unlocked with the handle up. This will prevent the foam gaskets from deforming, which can cause the unit not to function properly. Replacement gasket kits are also available at Cabela's. This handy storage bag will help to keep the vacuum sealer clean and ready for the next time you want to use it. You'll also find more information on food storage, safety, cleaning, and maintenance in the operating instructions.